Hey everybody, welcome to Motivational Monday number 3. I am USPTA Elite Professional Nicholas Bennett, and I am super excited to be here. Sorry for the hiatus on Motivational Mondays. It shouldn't happen, but we're here for number 3, and I'm super excited to talk about this Motivational Monday because I was watching a USPTA webinar called 7 Steps to Developing a Winning Attitude and Mindset by Allistair McCaw. Now, it still might be free for USPTA members, I'm not sure, but I'm going to send a link to Allistair's Twitter page and wherever else I can find. So I know he's on Twitter, that's where I follow him, and he's just a magnificent role model leader, and I love his stuff. So this is, I think, the second or third thing I've watched by him. So this Motivational Monday is directly related to that, and there are 7 things that he talks about to develop a winning attitude, but I was looking at one in specific, okay, especially related to all this. With all this negativity, it can be really draining, okay, and we're going to be talking about called gas it up every day. That's gratitude, appreciation, and self-reflection. We're going to gas it up each day, okay, and gas it up, we're going to start with gratitude. What are we thankful for? And I first saw this a couple months ago when I was at a training in Michigan where there was a professor from the University of Michigan was talking about mindset and how we're so programmed to remember negative things, so many more negative things than positive. It takes so much more positivity to get us to remember something versus something really negative, and we're just hardwired that way. So we can get down on ourselves really fast, or one thing might ruin our entire day. We're in it just built that way in our mind, where we have to reprogram our mind to get away from that. And so number 1, gas it up. And Allistair says, what are you grateful for? And the lady from U of M also talked about that too. She writes down 3 things we're grateful for. And I lost my tennis season this year, like most people, for our girls season, and that was one of our things we're going to talk about. What are we grateful for? Because like my dad always said, it could always be worse. And so try to remember what we're grateful for. Like my family is helpful. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that I have 3 meals a day and we have food in our house. My wife is on unemployment right now, but we still have food every day. And not everybody gets that. I'm grateful for Mona Shore's public schools who are giving food every Friday to the community. Whether you go to their school or not, you can get food from them. And I'm very grateful for that. So you can do this when you get up, you can do it at night, you can do it with you can talk to your brother, sister, your parents, your spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend. What are you thankful for? And write it down. Keep it with you. It's so important to write it down. And so we started doing that, even though we don't have a girls' season. We use an app called Flipgrid, and I'll put a link into that to help do that. And I would record and say, okay, everybody, what are you thankful for? And I would videotape that. And I would say, I'm grateful that my kids are healthy. I'm grateful that I have a full stomach and I have food in the house. And I'm grateful maybe for our portable hot tub that I use all the time because it keeps me warm. And I would send it out and the kids would respond. But start your day every day. What are you grateful for? And it only needs to be 2 or 3 things. It's not much, but every day. And if you wake up and you start thinking that after a couple weeks, it's going to be a habit. And the first thing you're going to think about every day when you get up is, what am I thankful for? Number 2, being appreciation. So G is gratitude, appreciation, gas, right? Or mindfulness. We got to be grateful for everybody in the healthcare field. Without any nurses, the people that work at the grocery stores, or grocery store employees, without them, we wouldn't have food, we wouldn't have healthcare, we wouldn't have anybody to help get us better. So having an appreciation for that, okay, that is super important because all these jobs are essential, right? How about our teachers? I'm a school teacher, and having an appreciation for those school teachers who probably are going to be at home with their kids and also have to plan and do lessons and video time with their students like I have to do, it can be really challenging. So maybe appreciate your spouse too, like my spouse who picks up a ton of the slack. And so that's really big. And you can also talk about being appreciate other people. Calling some of your old tennis students, calling whoever you are, basketball students, students you teach, old friends. Be appreciative. Reach out to them. Let them know that you care and that you're worried about them, or just wanting to check in. Every Thursday we've been doing, since COVID-19, a few of us are in different states. Our buddies, we get together on Thursday nights and we have a Zoom meeting for an hour. I just had a Zoom meeting with all my cousins on yesterday, and I think there was 9 of us, and I can't remember the last time we've all been together. Probably 8 or 9 years since my brother's wedding, and now we're all FaceTiming together. So this COVID-19 has been horrible, but I'm grateful for the technology and the communication, right? Because I can see people that I wouldn't normally see. My daughter can talk to some of her friends. She was playing Barbies with one of her friends the other day. So being appreciative of those people, those nurses, those grocery store people. So when they tell you, like in Michigan, to wear a mask, you wear a mask because you appreciate the concern that you have for them. You're being safe for them. It doesn't matter, like, trample on my rights. Be safe and do it for them, because they're the ones that are risking everything day in and day out. So I think that's important to remember. Lastly, Allistair talks about S for gas is self-reflect. And it's the key to self-improvement and self-reflection. Okay? And you don't want to just be critical. My dad always used to tell me, anybody can criticize anybody. You could look at this video and criticize me, right? I mean, there's probably a million things I do wrong. I'm in my guest room right now, and I'm thankful I have a space to record. What did you do well today? Because everybody did something well. You can always nitpick all the things you forgot to do, whatever. But what did you do well today? Write that down. Hey, I did this, this, and this. It doesn't mean you need a pat on the back, but like, hey, I made my bed today, right? It's, make your bed. But it's important, because now you're going to come back in, you're going to have a great spot to lay down. Right, nice and cozy. It's easy to criticize. What could you have done better today? Did you fight with anybody? Maybe you could have said something a little different. Maybe, things didn't always work out. I mean, we're all at home together. You could have yelled at your kids, your spouse. What did you do wrong today? Could you handle it differently? And maybe think about that. Like, yeah, I really handled this the wrong way. And offer that apology, a sincere apology. Like, you know what? I didn't do this right, and I'm sorry. I need to do it better, right? I need to do it better tomorrow. I'm going to handle this better the next time it happens. Who did you make better today? Did you make your kids better? Did you help someone today? Did you help call or text somebody? Hey, I love you. Hey, I'm just thinking about you. My neighbor, Jim, just sent me an email. He was like, hey, I was just thinking about you and Jamie and your situation. And he sent me a nice devotion to think about. And that it's very meaningful. Hey, how are you doing? How is your spouse doing? Is there anything I can do to help you? It goes a long way, especially in this COVID-19. So who did you help or text? So those are 3 things you can think about, and every day I want you to gas it up. So this is Nick for Motivational Monday number 3. We'll see you next week for Motivational number 4. Take care.